But thank you. Yes, whenever the Penguins come west, Sidney Crosby phones me and says, Scott, can I be on the show? And we juggle things around a bit, and fortunately tonight we're able to squeeze him in. Actually, none of that is true. The best player in the game is in great demand, and we appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight. Here's how I want to start. At the beginning of every season, it quickly becomes apparent that you have improved a particular area of your game. Seasons previous, it's been edge work, your shot, face-offs. This year, it looked like it was goal scoring. I know you're a bit cool in that area right now.
That's a nice way of putting
it. But you lead the league with 34. You had 21 in your first 24 games, and a whole lot of them from very close in, from just a few feet away. So did you dedicate yourself coming into this season to scoring more from these difficult areas?
No, I think I tried to go to the net a little bit more, especially early, and I think playing in the World Cup, I found out pretty quickly that there's a lot of pucks in and around there, and tried to go there. Coming off of summer and things like that, try to give yourself the best chance to create things. And I felt like there was able to get some good rebounds, so just tried to kind of play off of that into the season, and was going in a lot there early. It's been a little bit of a struggle here lately, but I think as long as you keep going there, eventually they'll go in.
Well, Sue Roy frames it this way in her tweet. Can you ask Sid if he was bored this summer and went, I need a Richard trophy, so I'm going to become a goal scorer?
You know what? I'm not usually in this position. Usually...
You won it in 2010.
Yeah, that's something I think as far as playmaking kind of comes a little bit easier usually. But for this year, for whatever reason, the puck's found in the back of the net a little bit more. So the chances have been there. So hopefully they'll start to go in a little more often here.
7 years between cups, and when you won the second one in June, you made the point that you felt like you were a more complete player than when you won your first 9 years previous, or 7 years previous, I should say. So the question is, at 29, are you finally a complete player? Or do you think there's still room for improvement?
Yeah, I think it's a constant struggle. I mean, when you want to create offense, you tend to look that way. I think on a common, nightly basis, and I think it's a constant challenge to remind yourself to be in, a defensive position sometimes. So I think you're always learning, but I think you find out pretty quickly that, you're good on the defensive side of the puck, and the offense will take care of itself.
Well, then name one area that you think you could improve in.
Face-offs. I got to figure out these guys who use their skate on the face-off. So that's been a bit of a challenge. A lot of guys are using their skate now, and you feel like you've got a pretty good feel on guys in the face-off circle. And I think you got to constantly be ready to compete in that area.
Your most recent accomplishment, 1,000 career points. You did it, reached that plateau on an assist on Chris Kunitz's goal at Pittsburgh in a game against Winnipeg about 3 weeks ago. And your parents, Troy and Trina, both there to witness it, and they were emotional. That was duly noted. This seemed to resonate as much with them as either of your cup wins did. Why?
I'm not sure. I think that they've been there for some pretty special moments, but I think 1,000 points is something that's pretty special, and usually you're not thinking about points a whole lot, but when you get a chance to get a number like that and you're able to share it with the people who made it happen, then it's unique. So glad they could be there for it. They've been there for so many things, like I said, so it was special to have them there.
Where's the 1,000 point puck?
I've got it at home right now. The trainers take care of it, so I'm not too good with those things, so I let him handle it, and he'll save all that stuff.
So we saw Trina there. You still can't call her on game days?
I don't talk to her on game days now. It's been like that. It's probably more her than me at this point. But
that was a carryover from when you got hurt.
Yeah, exactly. So it's happened a few times. So I think she's probably more nervous about it than I am.
Sidney, kids footage on you is not hard to find, and we've dug up what I think is a great clip from a CBC Halifax news feature done on you when you were 14, playing with and against kids 3 years older than you, midget AAA, and you would not, as we can see here, take any guff from any of them.
The game they're playing isn't my game. My game is making plays and making things happen, scoring goals. And
how old am I there?
if they're doing things to prevent me from doing that, then they're doing their job and I'm not doing mine.
That's a fascinating clip when you think about it, because 15 years later, you're in the best league in the world, and that still applies, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've got a little bit smarter and a little more used to it, but I think when you're a younger guy growing up, playing, kind of years above, I think that you've got to have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder and be ready for guys to challenge you a bit. And I think, that probably served me well as far as, having to deal with that a little bit at a young age. So no, I think I've learned it's a little bit more part of it, but I think it was a good learning experience for me growing up that way.
There are two favorite sons, hockey-playing sons from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, you and Nathan McKinnon. And the outtakes from your Tim Hortons commercials that the two of you do are laugh out loud funny.
Yeah.
The first one we're going to see is you two are working the drive-through,
Yeah.
and you're asking customers to name a hockey player from the East Coast, and Nathan is losing badly, so you prompt the next customer with a clue.
We're looking to give you a free coffee. We're going to think about it here while you're driving up.
Sidney Crosby!
From Cole Harbour, who else comes to mind?
Oh, there's a guy who just got drafted a year ago. Last name begins with an L. McGinnis.
Yes, thank you so much.
Now, Sidney, was that really a fair fight?
I don't know. We have fun with it, though. I'll tell you that.
Well, that's the thing. Those things are funny because they look so natural. Just the two of you having fun.
Yeah,
are they as fun to shoot as they seem to be?
They're usually, there's different ones that can be a little bit longer, but I feel like when we get together and do something like that, I think we have a lot of fun with it, and I think people can see that. Hopefully they can. I know that we enjoy it, so yeah, it's a lot of laughs when we get together for that.
Okay, in this next clip, you visit a fire hall, you and Nathan, unannounced, and you actually put the firefighting equipment on. How much of an appreciation did you get for what it takes to be a firefighter?
No, this is what I wanted to do when I grew up. When, if I was an NHL player, I wanted to be a firefighter. So this was a really cool experience to be able to do this. You can't see it here, but Nate stops about halfway. He doesn't want to go up any higher. So
it's 110 feet. Right?
Yeah, it's pretty scary up there. And we're not attached to anything until we get up there, so I don't know if I should say that or not. But
well, the commentary was interesting because Nathan's going behind you saying, I don't know if I want to do this, and you're saying, wow, what a view from up there, so you're not afraid of heights.
Yeah.
You and Nate trained together in the off-season. We have some video of the two of you doing a dry land footwork drill, and it quickly becomes obvious that this is a competition, and you, in fact, both of you, are going all out to win. Does this speak to your attitude about any competition you're in, and that is that you hate to lose at anything?
Yeah, I think most guys are like that. You get a competitive environment. Usually that's the way it works out. But it's been great having Nate around. He's so fast, and you see the way he skates, and he obviously works hard off the ice to have that speed. So to have somebody to kind of push yourself every day against, it's great. He's got young legs, and he forces you to work hard, so it's fun when we get together.
Now, you've made the point that Nathan McKinnon, being one of the fastest players in the league, can only help you in off-season training. Here's a tweet from Stephen Marquez, or Marquez, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but what's your training like to be so tough to play against and get the puck from you down low? I think this speaks to your edge work, because when you're up on your edges in the corners and behind the net, it's hard to get the puck from you.
Yeah, I think just trying to be low to the ice, and that's something I always learned at a young age. And I think that playing against bigger guys at a young age, I think you're forced to have to be able to hold on to it there. So speed and open ice is one thing, and you're always working on that. But I'm always trying to make sure that I'm willing to compete and be strong, down low in the corners.
All right, you've run the Sidney Crosby Hockey School at Cole Harbour now for 2 years, and obviously you're overwhelmed with applications. You can only accommodate 160. How do you pick them?
It's just basically like a lottery. All the people registered, they go into a lottery, and just computer kind of spits out 150 or 160, whatever it is. So it's been a lot of fun. Different people showed up, coaches I've had growing up, family members, and different players. So it's been great to have it local there, and I think the kids have enjoyed themselves. It's nice to see how many kids come from so many different places to be part of it, and it's a great experience for them.
Your sister Taylor has followed your father Troy into goaltending. That's the position he played. She's at St. Cloud State now. How's she doing?
She's doing great. Fortunately, their season's over right now, but
she's a little bit older than that now.
Yeah, she just turned 21, so time flies. But happy that she's at school and doing well, and certainly proud of her.
Finally, Sid, 5 years ago, you spent the winter working out on your own, wondering how long it would take or if you were ever going to be able to overcome the effects of a concussion and get back into the game. That said, what's it mean to you to be sitting here tonight and talking about all that you've achieved in the last 4 or 5 years, your second Stanley Cup, your second Olympic gold, World Cup, and your 1,000th career point?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I necessarily think about it like that, but I think you just try to have fun, and you appreciate it so much more having gone through that. And with any injury, whether it's concussion or different things you go through. There's different challenges you face, and that was a tough one. But I can tell you that I appreciate it, and you miss the good times, but you also miss the challenges and the adversity too when you're playing. So I think to be able to get in a routine and play more games constantly has been good. But I think you look at things a little different when you miss an amount of time like that.
Just a few seconds left. We'll jam in one final tweet. It's from Dave Kabat. Should the NHL be at the upcoming Olympics, and do you want to be there?
Yeah, I really hope it works out that way. I've had great experiences playing the Olympics, I think, for obvious reasons, but I think that hockey's a big part of it. But just the whole experience itself, seeing the other Olympians taking in other sports, just celebrating sports in general, I think it's really a special event. So hopefully it works out that way. I think we'd love to be a part of it, and I'm sure everyone will do what they can to make sure that happens.
Sidney Crosby, winner of All There Is in the Game, was our guest on After Hours, and his career may not even have peaked yet. So how about that? Ryan Miller was outstanding tonight, wasn't he?
Unbelievable.
He'll join us next when we continue live from Rogers Arena in Vancouver.